speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
You think you are free, that your decisions are your own. Tell me honestly, did you really choose this path? Or was it chosen for you? Your father, with every triumph, every failure, was it not his decisions that brought you here? Has his path not sealed your own? Marked out in golden bricks below your very feet. The path is set. Keep your head up. Keep your weapon loaded. Follow the battle brick road.
What is up, all of you fine people? It is great to see you on this wonderful Sunday. We got to do a short and fast stream here today because it is a crazy packed weekend, but I wanted to talk to you guys because I don't want too many days to pass before I stream. So I got to get in there. I'm working on Michael Bancroft, Bance's artwork. Let's see who we got here in the chat, and then I'm going to tell you all sorts of fun, exciting things going on. First and foremost, we've got Cranberry Langer's channel member. I tip my cap to you. Thank you so much for your support. I know how long you've been supporting this channel. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate you. Let's see. We got Timmy Mello. Speaking of my legends, speaking of my people who are been here supporting this channel from the start, Timmy Mello, thank you so much. Hope you are having a blessed and wonderful Sunday today, my friend. Let's see. We've got Stephen Rockwood here dropping links. The first, the alpha, the omega. It is great to see you in the house, brother. I hope you are doing well. Shanth went 30 minutes without a stream. Yeah, it's craziness, man. That 4 hour I did that night, I was off my rocker, off my trolley, dare I say. So we're gonna talk about a lot of cool stuff today while I'm here. So we got to have it, happen as it does here, and lots of crazy stuff going on. First of all, and this is exciting news. This is really exciting news. I got my email from the printer. The printer has said we have printed the books. We've cut all the books down. They are boxed, and they are being sent by freight to me. They did provide us with a tracking number, but it is the wrong tracking number. So we're going to have to wait till Monday to get the correct tracking number from them. But the books are done and on their way. Nosferatu is printed. And as soon as we get the books and get all the packing stuff together, then it's just fulfillment. But I'm gonna make an update on the Indiegogo once I have the books in hand, because I do not feel like making any updates that aren't, here are the books, they're done, let's rock and roll. What is up, Simply Green? How are you doing? It is great to see you here, my friend. And we've got Spaceman in the house. Or is it Spechman? Is it Spechman? You never know. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about painting, and we're going to talk a little bit about spring ball and all these various things that are going on. So let me talk to you about, let's talk about the last couple of days. Let's talk about it. So in addition to the excitement with Nosfero, two people in our household recently turned 18. I want to say happy birthday to them, and how proud I am of them. And then outside of that, I want to talk a little bit about the work that I'm doing in terms of spring ball, writing and reworking spring ball, planning out the next Nosfero adventure, which my head was kind of spinning a little bit after completing Nosfero, because it was such an immense project. I've also been creating things for the Waffle Lodge, so that when guests come in, they're going to be these short little guest intros. I built those out over the last couple of days. But when it comes to writing, yeah, it's Spaceman. Yeah, I had to make that 30 Rock reference. I couldn't resist. But this is the thing. I started working on Spring Ball and looking at the story, and of course I'm reworking the artwork to the point of practically repainting it, so to speak. So I colored it in digital originally back in 2002, 2003, and then and I've always had, I had the tools I had at the time, and so going in and reworking it is basically me painting into it and then also inking into it digitally. And the thing I started thinking about, and this goes to Nosfero, this goes to the heart of the matter, which is pulp. Yes, birthdays all around, KSSS would say. Indeed, he would. Timmy, you know the score. Yeah, I was wondering about Spring Ball. Yeah, here you go. And it was really interesting to me because it was crazy. There was still, believe it or not, a Lovecraft influence lingering in the background, which is going to be a hair more prominent, dare I say. And things like that. So that stuff hadn't changed. But what was interesting to me is how I was writing my heroes and my villains back then. Now, I was a young, artist. I was in my 20s when I was doing that book. And what interested me, or what fascinated me the most looking at it, was how low the stakes were in some senses, and how the villains of the piece, or I wouldn't say even the villains, but the antagonists maybe is a good way of putting it, of the piece they were very much comedic. And not in this sort of Steve Ditko, Stan Lee kind of way where it's playful, it's fun, but you get a sense of a real threat. They were just, it was kind of, it sort of felt a little art schooly. It felt a little bit too self-aware when I was looking at it. And it got me thinking about, as I've been reworking it, the story was always kind of hanging out in the background there. But the elements that I've put into it are just, I'm so happy with these. What is up, Diesel? How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you. Dropping in to tell my boy, Shanth, the Patriots, go Raiders. That is fine with... See, this is the problem with me. Diesel, I'm so excited to see you. I don't have a healthy response to that. I'm not like, no, Pats Rock. I'm like, it's Diesel. Much love, broski. You know it, Diesel. You know it. You know how I am, man. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. Yeah, every now and again, that's the thing about me that just I'll laugh at. I'll go, how I react to things. I'm always like, how's it going? It's too funny, man. So yeah, so I was looking at Spring Ball, I was looking at the story, and I had this kind of in terms of the protagonists of that story, which is so, this stuff really gets me, man. The protagonists of the story and the antagonists of the story, just, it's not about deep in depths in terms of, everything's got to be more complicated and nuanced. It's actually making things more pulp, making things more raw. Do you know what I mean? And making things like there's some real grit to it. And in a good way, because it's a story where I went through and I had like some light swearing in the book, and I was like, I don't want to have swearing in it. And it's not that the book is getting softened, it's that the linguistics of it are getting, richer and more, pulp right in your face, man. And the thing that was so crazy about it is the story of Springball and Terminal Monstrosity, which was, there were elements of it because the first book was called Springball Matters of Science, I think is what it was called. There were all these different ideas I was playing with, but it's really about these two extremes, these two philosophical kind of extremes for heroism and what things kind of mean. And on one end, you've got Springball, who has been created, and he's a science sort of experiment, but it's the idea of one's scientific research and one's intellectual mind and one's job and work being the keys to immortality, and then those kind of folks who are sucked into, in the sense of Lovecraft anyway, a cult and the idea of that kind of immortality. And the idea of this character who sort of starts off the story very kind of pragmatic. He's almost like Indiana Jones in that sense. Like, I don't believe... yeah, that's right. Sometimes you can work with it. A well-placed foul swine. You're absolutely right. And he's almost like Indiana Jones, where he's like, what are you trying to do, Marcus? Scare me? I don't believe in all of that mumbo-jumbo. Now, that's not Springball. That's not really what he's like. But he starts off the story kind of saying, monsters aren't real. The only real monsters in this world are, those that, people, and how people behave. That's the real monstrosity. It's true to the title. And then, and it's sort of like you see in Indiana Jones anyway, you see the Nazis, and then you see the Ark of the Covenant, and you're like going, okay, wow, Henry Jones Sr. says, do you understand this is a race against evil? And that just really appeals to me. I think that the idea of good and evil was not present as it should be in the book. It was basically different philosophical takes, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it, but it got bigger, it got more exciting, it got more pulpy, and more enjoyable, and the artwork is just singing. It's really looking cool. And that's the other thing I've been thinking about today, really, when I've been working on this, which is there's this aspect to creating and creativity that is really just something that I can't explain at the end of the day. I mean, I spent so much time in education attempting to, explain those things that could be explained in terms of creativity. But if someone were to ask me to explain how I'm doing this piece, how I came up with the composition and where it's going and where it's coming from, I just realized I don't think I could. And that's what it's like when I was reading Springball and adjusting the dialogue and sort of saying, okay, this needs to go here and this needs to go there, and I like making books. I like creating these things, and I like creating things that are, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they're books. They're self-contained stories, and Nosfero is very much a self-contained story, but the sequel to Nosfero, and this will be after the Second Chance campaign and all of that stuff, the sequel to Nosfero is definitely going to be called Death Will Die, 100%. And it's going to 100%... I for those of you guys who've been watching the streams, I'd kind of backed away from it. I wasn't sure. It's 100% going to star or co-star as one of the main co-protagonists in a weird way, Jonas Frankenstein. So it's going to be something intense. Hold on a second. Timmy Mello saying, monsters aren't always thought of with teeth and claws. Real monsters do unforgivable things and commit atrocities like putting pineapples on pizza. I couldn't agree with you more. Degenerates, Timmy Mello. Degenerates. And we can't let them win. We can't let them win. I'm just saying. And, he's a very... Jonas Frankenstein, I should say, not Jonah. Actually, no, it is Jonah. God, am I tired. I've got to figure out which one it is. I have it written down, but I'm that tired right now. It's been a crazy couple of days. But it's very much a Moby Dick kind of story. It's very much a complete reworking of the Frankenstein character. In many ways, it's the character that I dubbed Thulustein, because it, again, my passion for H.P. Lovecraft and magical things, monstrous things, things that are created by mysterious ways, interests me far more than just being in the purely scientific and being in the purely literal. Like, if you like sword and sorcery kind of stuff, but you also like, gothic romance, that's sort of what we do here. Everything is epic. Everything's got to feel big. Oh my gosh, long time no see. I doff my cap to you, my lady. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. I bow to you. How are you doing? It is great to see you, my friend. What is up, Eric Weathers? I've been spending some serious time in the land of Battle Brick Road, my friend. Some serious time. God, just choking to death. That's cool. I liked Frankenstein from the Seven Soldiers of Justice. Justice League Dark Team, absolutely. It's great to see my main man, Eric Weathers, in the house. Yes, guys. Yes. And so I was sitting here thinking about it, and I was thinking about just how fun it is when you write in the pulp manner that I think I heard Razorfist talk about it really articulately, which he goes, when you're writing in pulp and you're trying to catch your audience's attention, they tell you in fiction writing, don't just have it be a series of events and then this happened and then this happened. And I definitely think there's something to be said for, it's got to go somewhere. But when you're trying to engage an audience, I want to give you guys something new every book, something new and interesting, something you didn't know before, a character you haven't met before, and a new depth to the story. And the trick is to do both that and then also write complete stories every book. And Springball will be a complete story. When you get this book, it will wrap up an adventure, and the next adventure would be its own story if it happens. Right now, it's mainly just to finish up Springball. And Nosfero, Death Will Die, is going to be a complete story. It's going to introduce you to new characters, and it is going to take them and our characters that we know, Nosfero and Laurel, to a new place in their lives at the same time. But it's going to be exciting. What's up, Blackjack? Hail CG, indeed. It is great to see you. Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs is saying, hi, Eric. Hi, Cranberry. Hi, Timmy. There you go. And happy Sunday to all of you guys. Yeah, I'm having some fun today. Going to be going out and looking at some Halloween stuff, which I love to do. Always a good time. And I'm just really having a great time this October. I think it's because, I don't know, I got into the Halloween spirit early and often. I'm going to put a little bit of thanks onto, of course, my wonderful missus and my kids. But I've also got to say that my brother Michael over at The Choice Voice does his month of horror where he talks about Hammer horror films, and boy does that get me excited about the holidays. So shout out to Michael over on The Choice Voice, the great Michael King. Terrific guy. If you're not subscribed, do. Woo, doggy, that mail-in EFAP was something else. Oh, I didn't see it. I've been, as you know, Michael, I've been busy with this weekend's festivities of the two little people of Stonehenge. And just painting. But look at what I'm painting, Michael. Look at what I am painting. So, Michael, let me tell you something right now. I woke up, looked at this painting, and I was working on it. This painting is freaking insane. I could not explain whatever it is I do on this paper. I could never explain to another human being how it's done. And it's so complicated. I'm just telling you, if I die before this thing is done, no one's going to be able to understand how to finish it because it is so completely insane. It is completely insane. And I don't know how to explain to anybody what my creative process is because it's like explaining to someone a guitar solo. I don't know what exactly that means because I don't play the guitar, but it's when I hear a great guitar solo, I have no idea what they're doing. It's not chords, it's just something. And for me, I don't even know what I'm doing when I'm doing this. It's just, I get into a groove. It's whatever my process is. It's that thing I can't explain. And I was breaking up this section right here where the stairs are disintegrating and where it's about to take a turn and sweep back into the painting. This entire painting is this crazy sweeping spiral of texture and detail. It's almost like, how do I describe it? It's almost like, every painting I do is almost like a live edge wood table. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or a root table. You dig it out of the ground and it's the root system, and then you turn it into a table, and all of them are different. It's the exact same thing. There's nothing that, whatever formula is in what I do, it's the smaller things, but the formula of I don't even know how to describe it, but they happen. I have no idea what they're going to look like. When I start, they're only somewhere in that vein. Yeah, it's a vivid realm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to paint. What is up? How are you doing, Schneily? It's good to have you in the house. What's up, Sulcurialt? I can never get it right. In one or in one? I can say it wrong. It's just the vibe, yeah. Now that you know what it's like for me when I try to pitch the book. Well, here's the crazy thing about it, right? I do. I 100% know what it's like when you pitch the book. It's the same thing when I pitch my work. It's easier for me to pitch the stuff. It's easy for me to pitch Nosfero now, and it's going to be way easier for me to pitch Nosfero once I ship all those books out, once they get here, which they are printed. For those of you guys who are just joining us, I received word from the printer. The freight package with all the books on it has been shipped. They sent me the wrong tracking number, but I'll be getting the right tracking number from them on Monday. And they're on their way. A gigantic pallet of books is coming our way, so God help us. And we cannot wait to get those out to you guys. And what is up, Dan? How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Let's see here. Painting your Lovecraft miniatures. Hit that like, hail chat, indeed. And so, as I sit here and I was, working on Spring Ball this morning, and I was working on, thinking about writing and thinking about the next Nosfero, Nosfero 2, dare I say, Nosfero, Death Will Die. I was thinking about how Spring Ball and the Second Chance campaign for Nosfero is going to kind of be the bridge between a lot of those things, and just how much of what we do and what I try to do in this space is about getting in a zone and creating something of beauty and creating something that has real purpose to it. And I think that's why I've talked about my novel a little bit, and I think that the novel is going to, I've been toying around with the title, but last night I was looking at the novel and I thought to myself, I think the title for it, What's Up, American Comics Company? You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. I've been toying with different titles, but one of the titles I keep coming back to is The Widower's Psalm. And I think the reason why that comes to mind is, again, its main protagonist is a widower, recently lost his wife, and it's one of those stories where if someone were to say, where did this come from? Where did you get this story idea from? I don't know, man. And it's the muse. It's whatever the heck that is. And, Nosfero is, sort of a living, breathing work of art. It's a 33 different paintings with different paintings within those, but then it's like one big painting over 33 pages. It's so hard to describe. I will tell you what, I don't know where to attribute it, but that's definitely direction where I express my gratitude. And that's a thing for me in terms of Spring Ball 2, which is, I know I love monsters. I know that I'm all in on humanity in spite of all of the craziness, but the beauty that happens and the way that all of this stuff defines us and how great authors have written about the human condition. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. And while I'm on this planet, the books I do, I want them to bring beauty to you guys' life. If you love horror and monsters, I want that to be there. If you're the kind of person who believes in wonderful, amazing things that happen to people that change their lives and change their journey. It's the same way that, we talk about all of this stuff, but it's why cynical people cannot understand things like Star Wars or the Force or Harry Potter and magic. It's because in spite of everything that these characters have been through, and in spite of everything that we've been through, we still want to experience some magic and some beauty in this world. And that's what this channel's about. That's what Shanth Enjeti Art's about, I'm going to move my camera. It looks creepy there. I don't know why, but it's just like I keep looking this way and then it's over there. But that to me is what it's always been about. Do you know what I mean? And I love it. Oh, channel member, what is up? Improby, how are you doing? Malin totally oh, okay. Oh god, I feel like I missed something. But I probably should just stay missing it, I guess. Now, or some positive good vibration. That's right. I'm happy to bring some positive good vibration. And shout out to the coach, man. What's up, Art and Times of Jay Ryan? It's great to see you. And channel member, and probably it's great to see you. And channel member, Simply Green, it's great to see you, man. And so, yeah, so I started thinking about the fact that I was one of those kids who loved special effects and behind-the-scenes special effects. I wanted to know how those things worked when I was a kid. But here's the crazy thing. I would turn around and then watch them and completely believe in them. I don't know if any of you were like this, but I absolutely believed in it. Happy birthday, KSSS. It is great to see you. I rewatched the Oscar award-winning Best Picture Friday the 13th. I did too the other night. Mrs. Voorhees was freakishly strong. Yeah, she threw that gal through the window. Oh gosh, I'm hearing all kinds of exciting things happening. But yes, what? So for those of you guys who don't know, I want to once again wish two very special people in my house a happy birthday. Their birthday was yesterday, and I could not be prouder of them. So that's what's been occupying my time. And much love to all of you guys. But there's different kinds of people to me where when I look at things, I believe in the power and the importance of keeping Santa Claus alive, of keeping Halloween alive, of keeping fantasy and mystery alive, of keeping all of these incredible things like fiction and storytelling that make life worth living. They don't help us to survive, they help us to live, and they give, as C.S. Lewis said, value to survival. And that's what it is for me when I'm painting. That's what it's about. What's up, John? How are you doing? It's great to see you, man. Yeah, it's I will tell you this. Yeah, happy birthday, not so little Enjetis. God bless you. Thank you, Michael Bancroft, channel member. John, saying hi to John. Mark's music obsession. It is great to see you, Mark. How are you doing? God bless you. It's great to see you on this fine Sunday. I hope you're having a wonderful one. Yes, indeed. Happy birthdays all around. Yes, yes, yes. Much love, guys. Much love. And so, yeah, so I started sitting here, and I was writing on Spring Ball. I've got the idea, the plot, or I wouldn't even say it's the plot. It's more the theme and the direction for the second Nosfero book. And then I've got the first Nosfero book is packed and being shipped via freight to me as we speak. I just got to get the correct tracking number from the printer. But the next Nosfero book, the Spring Balls book, is going to be called Spring Ball Matters of Science. I was writing on that and working on the art this morning. And then Nosfero's next book will be Nosfero Death Will Die. Nosfero 2, Death Will Die. And that is going to introduce everybody to my take on the Frankenstein character. And you've seen it if you've seen my art book previews that I've shared, and also if you got the art book, you're going to be art book 1 and 2. You're going to see the character. He's got a wicked tattoo. I love his tattoo. This great sleeve tattoo. He's Lovecraft meets the Universal meets Monsters meets oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Holy cow, this is embarrassing considering where I'm from. Moby Dick author. This is completely embarrassing. I just see the letter H and I can't get there. Somebody help me with this. Who is the author of Moby Moby Dick. Why am I blanking? This is crazy. Call me Ishmael. Like, I've got, like, the whole thing in my head, and my brain has turned off. Melville. Herman Melville. That's the H. Herman Melville. Thank you. Whew, those senior moments are coming. Those senior moments are happening more and more every day. What is up, Plush? How are you doing? It's great to see you, man. And Gary G in the house. It's great to see you. Is that ARO? I love seeing ARO, Gary G. You know that. It's great to see you guys. Everybody is like, Melville, you moron. I know. I gotta work on it, man. Yeah, stream brain farm 100%, man. I have these moments sometimes where I know I'm gonna look in the mirror one day and go, my name is what exactly? Holy cow. God help me. So, and I mean that seriously, God, please help me. It's just going. And so, I've always really enjoyed Melville, though you wouldn't know it from my lack of recall today. And I've always found the way that he wrote about the various characters, I've always, loved, Queequeg and the whole, making of one's own coffin and that kind of thing. And to me, there's always been this element of Moby Dick, this whale that's kind of this underwater leviathan that is hell-bent on destroying them, that is a little bit, to me, like, Thulu, rising out of relief. I can never pronounce anything, guys. I apologize. Yeah. It is a tough read. And I will tell you this. When I read Lovecraft just flows. I can read Lovecraft, but certain authors are just, they're not, I mean, that's a high bar. But Arthur Conan Doyle, his stuff just flows. Melville was a little bit of a struggle for me, just to get into the story. But the themes are great. Not the themes, but the characters and the descriptions of New Bedford, where I actually got my one of my degrees in New Bedford, Massachusetts. That's why it's embarrassing to blank on Herman Melville's name. I guess Lovecraft is geographically closer to me, but by 15 miles, maybe. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. But it's the same thing, that's the world of these kinds of big epic authors that I kind of go into, and same thing with when I'm looking at the Lucent and the visual storytelling. I'm trying to make all of this stuff come alive for people who love it. That's right. Yeah, Doyle is great. Even Dickens, is more readable, though. Always a commit. I love Dickens. Charles Dickens is one of my favorite authors. I have a facsimile copy of A Christmas Carol over there because it's a ghost story. It's a Christmas ghost story. It is so good, and it redefined modern Christmas. And it's why when people say, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, I'll always respond, don't tell me what's possible or probable, tell me what's possible. My God, A Christmas Carol redefined Christmas to be in many ways what it became, and it came out of his time in workhouses and all of the horrific things that he kind of went through. And Dickens is incredible, and I love stories of heroism, stories of good, stories of redemption, or stories of realizing that that you can make a change in your life, and that there are new and exciting things, even when you've been, when you've been kicked to the ground. And I think that's why. What's up, Maromi? It's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Should we try to connect Yoko and Shanth? Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I think I'm good on that score. But yeah, it's why when I started working on that novel, which I'm going to now tentatively call The Widower's Psalm because it explains the story better than anything else. It's about a gentleman who has lost his wife of many, many years. And I wanted to write an adventure story about the adventures that can happen when you've overcome something that is your worst fear in many ways, and realizing that once those things happen, you almost have nothing to fear. You kind of unlock a strength in yourself that you didn't know was there. And I realized that sometimes I like to write stories for characters at all different ages, stories of optimism and heroism. But those stories, sometimes they just come to me and I go, there needs to be a story about this. There needs to be a story about life. at a certain point. Yoko is a conservative Japanese human rights activist with a YouTube channel. Oh, I got you. There you go. I was worried about something else there. Oh my gosh. Is that a super chat from Plush? How are you doing? He says, Thanos, you dare defy the abstract, the infinite, Marvel. Yes. There you go. Thank you so much. Let me send a cheerleader your way. This is for you, my friend. Charge! God bless you. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm also a huge fan of William Faulkner. It was William Faulkner, KSS, was it William Faulkner who wrote The Reavers? If so, I really enjoyed that book. I think he did. The author I've read the most is Terry Pratchett. I was just talking to someone about Terry Pratchett the other day, and they were talking about the Golem, I think it was, and apparently that's a theme he's covered quite a bit. Yoko, oh no. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Yoko also sells art. There you go. Oh yeah, she is doing art now. There you have it, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was one of his books, The Reavers. But I do. There was a book. There's a couple of books I read around the same time, and sometimes I get them a little bit confused. So I hope that that The Reavers was one of his works, because I'm trying to remember. When I first started writing in college, someone reviewed my stuff, and the teacher said that what I was writing was very Faulkner-esque. And then I realized that what he meant was that I was a Southern writing how a Southerner writes. That's what he took it as, And I was like, oh, yeah. Yes, he wrote The Reavers. Excellent, excellent. I'm so glad. Oh, no, I know. The internet is nuts right now. Yeah, we've got... Thank you guys for being here. 26 people in here. Hit that like. We're at 16 likes right now. Let's see if we can kick the algorithm in the nuts and say, good morning. How are you doing? Top of the morning to you. That's what I like to say to the algorithm. It's exciting. It's exciting to do, to let them know what's up. But yeah, I've been really excited about storytelling and art lately, and I think it's because I'm seeing a lot of really interesting stuff happening, and I really do think that that there's this kind of artistic renaissance that's starting to happen because we can actually talk to you guys. The connection between us as creators and artists and you guys was the missing link. That was the thing that was the problem. And so I never take this for granted, that you guys can be here, that I can talk directly to you about the stories that I'm telling and where this stuff is going. And it's going to be exciting. And so, yeah, heroism and creating, there's so many things I want to do. The two things I want to do most right now, and they're great because they can work parallel to each other, is comic book and illustration artwork. More art books and more comic books. And then I want to write novels, and everything is about, to paraphrase Frank Lloyd Wright this time, creating things that are a grace to your life and not a disgrace to your life. That's really what it comes down to. I don't want to create, to use it wrong. I don't want to create, or I'm not interested in the theater of alienation in the sense of, what can happen when you do stuff that just deliberately alienates your audience. Hi, Ryan Johnson. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And talking about things that are important, things that are powerful. What is up? How are you doing, Ellie Munoz? How are you doing, brother? I just found out Alan Moore released a book in 2016 that requires you to read like 5 classic literatures in order to understand it, and I'm all about it. There you go, Ellie. Go get it. Go get it. What is up, Admiral Wackass? How are you doing, channel member? God bless you. Thank you for being here and being a channel member all this time. Go for blood, Shanth. That's right. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. I do remember Alienation. It's nice to hear people bring these things up, man. I do miss it. Oh my god. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I miss a few minutes of activity, and my god, it's like I missed everything. But like I said, it's been a weekend of celebrating a big birthday for some very special people in this house, and it's been really great, and a lot of painting and a lot of getting geared up. Spring Ball Terminal Monstrosity is, of course, being worked on and written and all of that stuff. And then Nosfero is on its way to me right now as we speak, the fully printed book. It's all been cut down, and I'm going to have a nice big post once I get the books on the Indiegogo to sort of be like, here it is, update addresses, all that kind of stuff. And then, gosh, what else is going on? Jonas Frankenstein is going to be in Nosferatu 2, Death Will Die. And I'm going to start plotting that and developing that. And one of the things, this is something I wanted to bring up to you guys. Stay focused on this painting. Let me tell you something, Mike. I am 100% focused on this painting, okay? This painting, here's how it works. Whenever I do a painting, and think of this times 1,000,000 for something like Nosferatu. Whenever I do a painting, I have to break the static friction. This white piece of paper that's empty, and I have to get enough energy going on it to where it starts to take over. And once you break the static friction on a painting, it starts to roll. It just starts to move. And the thing that was keeping this painting from happening was something as simple as where this figure had been placed. If you look at this up close, I'm going to let it come into focus for a sec here. You can see that was where her face was before, and that's where her face moved. You can still see it because I haven't completely painted it over. And there was the sweep of this piece, and she was bringing the whole piece out of balance where she was located. And once I moved that, everything just sort of, it's almost like when you're pushing really hard on something, it's stuck to the ground, like a big piece of concrete or something like that. You're trying to move it with a bunch of guys, and you work on it, and then it just moves, like all of a sudden, and then you just go. Then it just takes over. That's what it's been, man. It's been crazy. And that's been the biggest thing for me, is trying to get that static friction broken on this painting. And it's the same with every painting. These things are, and with Nosferatu, nothing I do is paint by numbers, and nothing I wish it was, and nothing I do is just, it's not very systematized. It's very much getting in the zone, and the system and the thinking and the editing is what happens afterwards. It's a little bit, if I were to just plan everything out so that it was completely done, the book couldn't go anywhere, or the paintings couldn't go anywhere interesting. And that's the kind of thing that I actually really, if someone were to ask me, it's not something that I'm a massive fan of that whole thing, because I think when people say stuff like that, they usually just have no idea what they're doing. And but the weird thing about it is that the way that I paint and the way I work, painting does not allow me to kind of BS it and just do it like, and then I fill in this and then I fill in that. I've got to really bring this thing to life, because everything is sort of handcrafted, if that makes sense. And I don't know if any of this makes sense, because it's wild. Let me see here. It was wild. Can you believe that Malin Gate kept my glory? Okay, I totally have no idea what's going on. Oh, King was a great writer. The last book of his I read was trash. Okay. It was something about mobile phones. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's weird. Shanth's latest album just out now, Moving Faces. Play us a song from it, Shanth. I wish I could. It doesn't feel like a King book, to be honest. Okay, wow, you guys are way ahead of me. Yeah. Yeah, it's like this, right? It's when I paint a portrait, and I guess maybe it's because I came out of a period of painting portraits too, doing this, is you're not just trying to get a kid's, when you're painting somebody's kid, or you're painting somebody's wife, or you're painting somebody's father, as I've painted on one instance, or a soldier who's passed. One of the things about it is that you really want to bring that person out. It's not just about dotting I's and crossing T's and saying, oh, this is where your eyes are. It's about that too. It's also about that. But it's trying to put some kind of soul into the work, so that, the people who are there, and the people, I don't know, the chat is in these paintings, man. I'm painting these paintings with you guys a lot of times, and that affects how they're done. They're not the same as if I had just done them by myself. And everything that goes on with people, it's weird. All of this stuff affects it, man. I see, my channel members coming in here, and they're all amped up, and then some of you crazy maniacs sending super chats, and then people just kind of, we're just talking about random stuff, whatever's going on. And it's such a different process. And I want you guys to be here. I don't want you guys to watch me filling in the blanks. Does that make sense? Snuggy, my man, how are you doing? Long time no see. God bless you. It's great to see you, man. It's one of those things to where you guys aren't watching a pre-prepared thing happen. You're actually watching it being created in real time when you see me paint. And these marks were not pre-planned. I'm not, tracing this thing out. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of weird when I think about it, but it's just how I work. Like, I have to figure it out, or I have to create it actually as I create it. So there's not a lot of steps to it. And whenever I've tried to overly, plan everything, it never looks as good. It always feels lifeless. And everybody's got a different process, by the way. It's not to say that this way is the only way, but this way is the only way I can do it. And I like work that's done in completely different ways than mine, and I like work that's different than mine. I'm not one of those folks who wants to see my work everywhere. I want to occupy the space that my work occupies and be the best there is at doing it. But I still can't explain this process. I still can't explain what I do, if that makes sense. Yeah. Dabble do, yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, you guys are fast and furious with this stuff. Oh my lord. Keeping up with the chat. But yeah, I mean, it's just been crazy, and I've been watching a lot of really good stuff. Like, I was watching, and I know there's obviously some planning in this, but I was watching Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and the Wolfman with my daughter, and I was just looking at Lou Costello and, knowing about his life and knowing about everything, and he just brings so much warmth and joy when I watch those movies. Abbott and Costello meet The Mummy, and Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and the Wolfman. And I just started thinking about their chemistry and just thinking about, how do they do that? You can't make that happen. You can't plan that. I mean, they just came together and they became this thing. I mean, they worked hard. God knows they worked hard. But, you can work hard and not arrive at that. And I stand in awe of artists and creators like that, man. Hitchcock is the same way. He's the closest to somebody who explains his work in terms of a system. But I watch Psycho, and I'll be damned if I can figure out how the hell he put that together. It's amazing. Oh, that was on Svengoolie last night. Very cool. Yeah. I was worried it was mostly just rumors from years ago for a min. Oh my goodness, I'm like learning all this stuff. A classic indeed, yes. My homie and personal rival, Ellie McComicsgate. In D&D, you would be a lawful chaotic artist. That's right. Hey, on the bright side, I got Wrecked Planet. Very cool, man. How small-minded do you to think your way is the only way? Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's a very strange thing, because think about this, right? Every time I went into comic shops when I was a kid, and different ones, I went into this one that was somewhere outside of Washington, D.C., I think. And I think it was in Alexandria. And the gentleman who owned the comic store, I came in there and I was telling him what I wanted to buy. And he's like, you don't want to buy that. You want to buy this. And he was just, and it was great though. Like, he was enthusiastic. He showed me where to get what I wanted. But then he was also like, you got to check this out. And he wanted to talk to me about comics. And I was so happy to hear somebody sharing their enthusiasm for, Abbott! And I always think, what, chick? I love that one, man. And but I love talking about all this stuff with people. I love talking about, what it is that, they're passionate about, what people are passionate about. That goes with artists. And so if you guys hang out around this channel, and, most of you guys have been here for a bit, and some of you guys are new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. It does help. It does help this family of ours here in this casa I stream from. So please do. Every bit helps. But you guys are kind of getting a chance to see what's going on with this stuff, and how I make it and how I create this stuff. And I'm really proud of what I'm getting the opportunity to do right now with Michael's piece. And for those of you guys who've missed it, I posted this a little bit on Twitter. Right now, I've also been sketching in Battlebrick Roadland. And so I was looking at trying to figure out a humanoid lion kind of thing, just because it helps me to get into the characters of the world. And I just was looking at and sketching from lions fighting photos. And I never realized how cool, it is to look at amazing action shots of lions fighting each other. It was such a blast. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of looking at the way the mass moves. I don't know how that is going to become a painting. I don't know where any of that stuff goes. But it's the same thing when I'm painting, Dorothy. It's the same thing. It's trying to think about, the female figure and how to compose it, and then playing around with these crazy sort of tendrils these metal sort of things, and trying to kind of compose it in a fun way to where it's like it's saying Oz. And these are all things I just have fun doing, man. It's crazy. Yeah, lions fighting is a lot like bears. They're too big. They have to be stopped before they get us all. Past Master Dan, you're 100% right. And my homie says they didn't hate each other. Their relationship got strained. Due to the death of Costello's firstborn son. That Lou Jr., that's the roughest bio I've ever read, man. Yeah, lions are incredibly powerful, very dangerous. They're just afraid of badgers. Yeah, who wouldn't be, man? Those things are scary. Shanth, was it you that showed that lion-tiger? Yes, that was on Gabe's channel. Yeah, the lion... That tiger attacking... Yeah, it was a tiger attacking an elephant on a wildlife preserve in India. And then I think I also showed once the tiger trying to chase down and kill these guys on a scooter. And it was nuts. It was... You just thought to yourself, wow, it's nice to know there's a quadruped in India that hunts people as a form of food sustenance. It's like king cobras, too. They've got body counts like frickin' Ted Bundy. It's terrifying, man. Holy cow. Yeah, that is some scary stuff. And I wanted to... I'm pretty comfortable painting, figures and heroes and that kind of thing. But I just kept thinking about how I haven't really thought about painting lions and that kind of that power of their torso and their chest cavity and how freaking terrifying they are. I mean, I painted the tiger that's on the wall behind me, the hang in there tiger poster a while back, so I'm pretty comfortable with that stuff, but it's crazy. Yeah, honey badgers don't give a darn 100%. And when I see videos of honey badgers, I'm expecting, like, this honey badger just broke in and hotwired this car. Like, they seem to have a problem-solving ability that's completely terrifying. Completely terrifying. So, yeah, be careful. Be careful. They're out there. And at any moment, the honey badger could come get us. And I don't want that to happen, man. Yeah, avoid them at all costs. I think I saw a video of some zoo that tried to keep one, and it just kept escaping. It was like using tools and things to get out of there. And you think, that's not a good thing. That's a little terrifying. I mean, granted, cougars are currently hunting us at ski resorts, apparently, and ski lodges and hotels. So, yeah, we've got some things we got to have a conversation about as a species, okay? Like, we need to sit down and maybe put a pin in that and have that conversation. 100%. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, this is a family show. Well, kind of. Or a wolverine. Now, wolverines are terrifying. When you watch a wolverine drag an elk that's 4 times its size through the snow, and you think, that's kind of scary. Yeah, they are. They're nothing you want to play with, guys. They're nothing you want to play with. You want to keep a safe distance from honey badgers and wolverines if you can. That is the way of the world. That's good family advice right there. That's good. That's the more you know right there. 100% the more you know. Oh man, this thing is going to be nuts, dude. This thing, I'm having so much fun on it now. Now that I've solved that, but it was so frustrating to figure out the balance on this thing because it's a very complicated piece. It's a very complicated painting. It's got to have this right amount of balance. There's several different figures and scenes that are interlocking in this piece that speak to what the Lucent's about, and then there's just the kind of the poetic, sweeping, mythological nature. And I want to give every painting I have is I've got a finite amount of paintings in me to do that I get to do, and every painting's got to count and it's got to be important. And so same thing with this is the case with the one I'm doing for Eric, the one I did for Razor Fist, the CYBERFROG trading card, the pinups I have in Malin's Visions book. I mean, all of that stuff, man. Thank you guys, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, news at 11. You ain't kidding, guys. But yeah, so my big plan for this channel is I've done some new intro videos for when I do the Waffle Lodge, late night at the Waffle Lodge streams. That's all set, and it's really going to just be, I'm going to make the show. The thing I'm kind of excited about doing is I'm not gonna so much have it be a complete topic show, but there's certain things I definitely want to cover on certain episodes because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now in culture, and I'm fortunate enough to be friends with some really cool cats who know a ton about story, know a ton about art, and who are very invested in culture and this kind of this attempt we have to create actually living, vibrant culture as opposed to very staid, very boring, very dead, and hyper-political culture, which is, to me, politics is the death of art, and it's bringing the kind of mythic quality back, good versus evil and heroism, and that's what I want to bring to the stories I do. So that's going to be a big part of Nosfero, which you guys I'm going to be having those books are going to be arriving at some point. I'm going to get the tracking number, and I'll be able to know when that is. And then that's going to be a big part of Spring Ball, Nosfero 2, Death Will Die. Spring Ball is going to be called Terminal Monstrosity. All of this stuff. Shanth Enjeti art is about to go into overdrive. Oh gosh, I know. I'm going to order one for myself too. I haven't ordered one yet. Mark's Music Obsession. So the Iron Age shirt, do take a photo of it when you get it. I'm dying to see. Oh gosh, I just saw that. Sorry, Spaceman. I missed that before. It's I did a poster, and it's going to be in the hardcover book of Ghost of the Badlands. So he commissioned me to do a painting that's going to be one of the posters for the Ghost of the Badlands campaign, and then it's also, if you got the hardcover edition, it's going to be in the art gallery section. So yeah, he commissioned me to do something for his comic book, which was great, an honor and a pleasure. Great dude, love that dude, loved working for him, and hope to do so again. Just with all these guys I work with, when you work with good people, it's always a blast. And when you work with creative people. So yeah. But yes, I cannot wait to see that shirt. I'm going to be ordering that. And I also just dropped another design, which you can click that link in the description to see, which is Late Night at the Waffle Lodge. So there's a new Waffle Lodge shirt with that logo on it. So guys, yeah, there is. Oh, thank you so much, Spaceman. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, Razorfist is awesome. And he's been a huge part of my listening when I'm painting pulp artwork and when I'm doing the stuff that I do. I'm fortunate that there are a lot of creative individuals right now that are in our space and who are just working their tails off. I'm always meeting new people doing cool stuff, and I'm seeing a lot of books that have been out of print for a long time go back in print, and I can't think of anything more exciting than that. It's great. So there's I got the re-release of Richard Corbin's Den, which I think has been out of print for a long time. It's a beautiful hardcover. Got that a little while ago. Yeah, just lots of cool books that are coming out. Tim Vigil's Faust is coming out as a hardcover, which was a comic that I saw when I was a kid. I was hugely influenced by Grips and Tim Vigil's artwork when I was younger. Not for young people, that book. Let me be super clear about that. And to put it mildly. But, all of these works of art that have been out of print and hard to get, and I've got copies of them that, it's like, do you read them? You don't want to get them all wrecked up when there's not a lot of them. Are coming out in nice hardcover editions, and Shanth Enjeti Art's just going to be putting out some really cool stuff for you guys. Because I know, we hang out on these streams, we make art, we talk. Yeah, Corbin's Den, man. You want to talk about, that guy is a poet, artist, genius, man. That guy, I got his Angoulême exhibition catalog, and I was just looking at it, and I was thinking, this guy is a dang genius. They're going to have his Hellboy stories are going to be collected, I think, by Dark Horse, who are also putting out put out the Den books. And then, how many books did he do? I think the first Richard Corbin book I ever saw was the cover he did to the second or third printing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. And it was a wraparound cover, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is painted. This is so cool. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell album. I forgot about that, man. Totally. So yeah, that's the stuff that gets me excited about art, and that's what we're bringing back here. We're bringing back that cool artwork, that cool storytelling can go anywhere artwork. That's what we're about. That's what we're going to do. Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. Yeah, it's coming together. All right, ladies and gents, it sounds to me like it's been a very big day for Comicsgate. I'm sure there are a lot of different streams going on. I will try to catch up with that when I get back into the house, or try not to catch up with it. But thank you guys so much for being here. This is just going to be a 1-hour stream because I didn't want to miss an opportunity to stream for you guys today, and at least once. And I appreciate you guys so much for everything you do. I cannot wait to show you Nosfero when it comes. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, channel members. God bless you guys. And thank you for the super chats, guys. I do appreciate it. More artwork is coming and more cool stuff is coming. It's just going to be onward and upward. The best is yet to come. All right, guys? I will see you guys soon. Thank you, Timmy Mello. Thank you, John. Thank you, Past Master Dan. Thank you, all American Comics Company, Moromi. Let's see here. John, it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Let's see who else we've got here. Cranberry Langers, of course. Spaceman John. Let's see who else I've got here. Mark's Music Obsession. It's great to see you. Thank you so much. Sniley, it is great to see you in the house, guys. Great to see you. See Timmy Mello. Just want to make sure. Admiral Wackass, Art and Times, Jay Ryan. It's Michael Bancroft. So great to see all of you guys. KSSS. And I think I got most of the people. See who else is in the chat. And probably it's great to see you, channel member. Much love, guys. Sir Sulcurial1, it's great to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And take care. I will see you guys soon. As I always say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace. Take care, everybody.